actually gonna show the points because I actually forgot to add bonus points after freaking.
Hey, did you put me in the
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a Southwest NASCAR Series live stream. Today is the Auto Club 400 from Fontana, California, for race number 10 of the season. Alongside me today is Builder and Ben Pie, who claims that this track is his favorite track. Ben,
uh, it's my favorite track because it is my favorite track. It's 3 miles long,
2 miles.
2 miles
It's
long.
3 miles long.
Thanks. Oh God, you know what? It's 2 miles of nonstop super speedway action. Guys flying down on the bumpy straights, going 200 miles. That's why I like it.
Well, we'll see how that changes up the points. But for those of you who did not look in announcements earlier today, I have gone through and updated all of the point standings uh, because I evidently forgot to. Well, after Atlanta, I forgot to add the bonus points, so I added those in, and that changed things very minimally. But I also had to add the Coke 600 points and bonus points from that race as well. So the running order for the point standings right now, as it is Coaster 48 points ahead of Emily Winters, Sharon Kyle third, Max Weisner fourth, Payson Avery fifth, our most recent winner, George Uriarte, in sixth. Ben Pierce is in seventh in the points. Adrian Mobley eighth. Ad is ninth. Winterwolf 10th. Sam Blaney 11th. Creeper of Hope 12th. Garrett Shima 13th. Cole McElmoyle 14th. Ryan Boyer 15th. Matt Wynn 16th. DNP 17th. Chris Ganaban 18th. Matt Nile 19th. Greenwich Talonflame 20th, Ben Navarro 21st, Robot Spider 22nd, Muse Better 23rd, Flashy McClashy 24th, Carlos Tavares 25th, Brian Anders 26th, Brandon Del Pino 27th, James Youngerman 28th, Matt Vanswicki 29th, and last in the points right now is Parker. Now, I also have updated all of the extra stats to the best of my ability, and so the drivers yet to lead laps this season are ironically Garrett Shima and Carlos Tavares and Parker. They've both been up at the front often this year, but they just haven't been able to get it done. We'll see if that changes today. So let's hop into the game and get out to the racetrack. Uh, what are our predictions so far for this race?
Well, predictions. Oh gosh, man, I don't even know. We haven't really seen the cars out on track yet. We don't know who's strong yet. We don't know who's going to be really weak. I'm putting it out there right now. Parker is not going to win this race. He's just had that rough of a year. I just don't see today swing in his favor. I'm going to say it's someone a little bit further up in the championship standings. I'm going to go with Emily Winters. She's been consistent all season long, just hasn't quite had that one last push to get to the front of the pack and win a race. I'm going to go with that 15 car today.
Well, first car coming off of pit road just so happens to be the 13. Um, I mean, we haven't really had, again, we haven't really had the chances at getting a look at who has the car to beat here, but it just seems that whenever we've run um, races here, we've seen certain cars get off to a great start. I think that the two to watch are definitely going to be Payson Avery looking for his first win of the season, and I think Matt Wynn gets it done today. He ran pretty strong at least for a good portion of the Coke 600, couldn't get the finish that he needed just because of how crazy that race was, but I think he gets the job done today. How about you, Ben?
But I believe anybody in that top 20 who can survive the hot Southern California sun can win this race. It's all about high speed and drafting. So I think this is a toss-up of the top 20. Anybody can win this race.
And also, just thought I'd mention that this race, again, back to the good old 25% length. So we won't be here for 2 hours like we were on Wednesday. Thank goodness for that. We'll have a little less racing, but I think we'll have a bit of a better race today just because of the way this racetrack is, and the fact that they also have a little bit more room to maneuver here than at the tightly banked oval of Charlotte Motor Speedway, where even going 3 wide is a disaster.
You'll see guys going 3 or 4 wide here today. Auto Club is just such a wide track, so many different lanes that you can work with. It's going to be extremely fast. You'll see them going into the corners at about 110 miles per hour plus. It's going to be insane. Restarts are going to be crazy. If we get a caution, it's going to take out a lot of people because most times it's just pack racing here at Auto Club, so it should be exciting.
Well, I think we're good to go for getting up to the race. Let's do so, and let's go through your starting order for today's race, presented by me, because, yeah. So, let's head upstairs.
Drivers, to your cars.
Drivers getting to their race cars, and pole sitter for today's race is Ad in the number 39 Home Depot Chevrolet Camaro. Second goes to the Boring Company 77 Dodge Challenger Flashy McFlashy. Rolling off in third is the number 1 of Max Weisner, the Budweiser Chevrolet Camaro. And then Carlos Tavares starting fourth for row 2 in the number 7 Pepsi Toyota Camry. And then noted to be one to watch by Build in the pre-race. Rolling off fifth is the number 15 of Emily Winters, the Monster Energy Chevrolet Camaro. And sixth is going to be the 5 of Kingston Avery in the Maine Fire Department Ford Mustang. Rolling off in seventh, the 11 of Ben by 1024. And I guess some of these guys still running their patriotic schemes from last week, but that's okay. We still got everybody in here. Rolling off seventh is the number 11 Bass Pro Shops Toyota Camry of Ben by 1024. Then you got the 24 of Coca-Cola 600 winner George Uriarte rolling off in 8th, the Exalta Chevrolet Camaro. And then Sam Blaney in the number 22 Duracell Toyota Camry, looking to have a bit of a rebound after that race. And then rolling off to round out your top 10 in 10th is 27 of Garrett Shima, who has been up the whole season, still looking for his first win. That's the One-Eyed Buffalo Blues Gazette, number 27 Ford Mustang. Then Robot Spider looks to be a dark horse tonight, rolling off 11th in the number 25 Stockton Piper Chevrolet Camaro. And then Brendan Delpino starts 12th in row 6 with Clover on the hood of his 42 Chevrolet Camaro. Then the 88 rolling off in 13th with Mountain Dew on the front of this thing. The number 88 Mountain Dew Chevrolet Camaro. And wanting to do better than he did with Dale Jr. on his car from last week, it's Parker rolling off 14th, the number 12. 15th belongs to Ryan Boyer in the Haas Automation Ford Mustang. And then 16th goes to the 18 of Adrian Mobley, the M&M's Toyota Camry. Then 17th, and in row 9 rather, is the number 19 of Sharon Kyle, the Xbox One Dodge Challenger. And then 18th is Cole McElmoyle in the number 61 Canadian Jeep's Patriotic Chevrolet Camaro. Pulling off 19th in row 9 is the 3 of Brian Anders, and then 20th belongs to the 54 Allegiant Dodge Challenger of Coaster Enthusiasts. Then just behind them, the 10 of Ben Navarro rolling off 21st, the Napa Auto Parts Toyota Camry, then the Apple Toyota Camry of Picker of Hope rolling off 22nd. 23rd is the 9 of Chris Ganaban, led a few laps last race, the Valvoline Ford Mustang, and then the 2 Mountain Dew Energy Assault, or no, Monster Energy Assault, Ford Mustang for Matt Banswicki rolling off 24th. 25th sees the number 4 of Muse Better running a Season 1 escape scheme for him. And then 26th belongs to the 26th. That's Matthew Nile in the Miller Lite Ford Mustang. 27th is the 99 of James Youngham in the Aflac Ford Mustang. 28th belongs to the 13 Twisted Tea Ford Mustang of none other than Matt Wynn.
Drivers, start your engines!
As we get the man here, 29th goes to the 8 of DNP_10, the number 8 Amtrak Toyota Camry, and rounding out your field today is Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, the number 78 of Greninja Talonflame, the Baja Blast Chevrolet Camaro. So I expected this race to be a pretty good race. We'll see how things go. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy this one.
Don't we have some news to announce about Roblox SNS?
Yes, but I think we can wait on that one till a later point in the race, because we're about to get this thing underway. And boy, howdy, do you know restarts are wild and crazy in this series, and in the real Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series as well. 30 cars set to take the green flag in this one. A lot of these guys didn't make it to the checkered flag last week. They hope to not make a repeat of that. They want to get to the finish of this race as they come through turn 4. Pace car going to make the hard left turn to pit road, and we'll be getting underway. Green flag is in the air, underway from Auto Club. I have no idea why we were getting a bit of lag there, but the 39 of Add your race leader for the time being. And now Max Weisner going to drop to the inside, try and take the lead away from Add. That time by the start-finish line, the 39 had it by 200ths of a second as they head through turns 1 and 2 once again. Spanning out 4 wide and multiple rows deep behind them. We talked about it in the pre-race, how crazy these races can get and how wide of a racetrack this is, that they really can be able to show their stuff here, but we're only just now getting a little bit of a peek of it as they run through turns 3 and 4. why there's a bit of slowdown and the glitchiness. I have no idea. I think it has to do with the detail. It probably has to do with the detailing on these cars. And Ad gonna try and look to the inside of the 1. He's gonna get a look, but I don't know that he's gonna quite get there. He might have a shot at it in 1 and 2. There goes Ad to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to take the race lead away. He had the pole, but was not able to hold the top spot through the early portion of this race. He's now going to have to contend with this 1 of Max Weisner. We go to the helicopter cam. Ad looking, and he's gonna have another shot here. Let's see if he's gonna be able to get him this time. Now, the thing is about this racetrack, you want to make something happen. It's oftentimes very difficult to make it happen unless you have someone come down and help you. And this time, as the 39 drops to the inside, the 7's gonna go with him. I think Ad's gonna have the top spot back here as they come to the start-finish line. That time by, the 1 was the race leader, but only by 500ths. But now as they get to the back straightaway, the 1 of Carlos Tavares could be leaving this 39 up to dry. Let's see if it works for him. He gets by the 1, slots into the 2nd position, but Ad back to the top spot here, and now Max Weisner gonna try and get 2nd place back. Flashy McFlashy gonna drop to the inside. This is his home track, and I think he will get the spot away from the 1 by the time they get through the first few turns of this racetrack.
Slowly sneaking into the pictures, that 24 of George Uriarte. Man, he started kind of mid-pack, maybe top 10, and he snuck his way into 5th. He's got a little bit of takeoff speed here. He's got a good start to the race.
Well, that 24 did win a race, and so you almost wonder if that 24 team's got a little bit of confidence knowing that they can get to the checkered flag and finish a race and win one. He's only led 97 laps this season, but those 97 laps were the most important laps of his season so far, actually managing to get him the most important lap led in any race, and that's that last one. The 7 doesn't seem to be too content to be right behind this 39 car, but it just doesn't seem that he's got the assistance he needs in order to make a move as of right now, and it's kind of something that you see talked about a lot more in the Cup Series, and that's the fact that clean air tends to be an advantage for these guys. It seems to definitely be playing factors here. But now we see the 7 and 77 drop to the inside of this 39 car, trying to work together. And this would be Carlos Tavares' first couple of laps led this season. One of the guys we talked about before practice even, who is yet to lead laps, but he's likely to get it out there here. Flashy McFlashy, the New Hampshire winner, also finding his way back up to the front, having a good day so far. '77, trying to get a look. The 7 finally leads a lap that time by the start finish, but the 39 and the 77 going to drop to his inside. They want the spot back. The 7 is actually going to be able to hold him off for now, but I see this becoming a thing as they head into turns number 3 and 4. It just seems that the easiest way to make a move for the race lead is to drop to that inside. And speaking of dropping to the inside, both cars do. They're going to be 3 wide for the top spot that time by. And the margin of the lead for the 7 anyway, that time by the start finish was 800ths. And actually the 39 dropping to the inside of the 77, forcing it 3 wide. Going to take the draft away from both of the 2 cars behind the 7. Clean Air is king, as we've mentioned before, and neither of those 2 cars going to be able to get by the 7 potential line.
I brought up how that 24 had good takeoff speed at the beginning of the race. He is starting to fall. Does not seem like he has a good long run car, and it looks like the only way he's going to get up there is if this race comes down to a short run, which at Auto Club it doesn't always, because it's mostly pack racing. That's further on in the pack. Most of the times, maybe the top 10, top 15 can really get single file. So unless the caution comes out, that 24 might be having a rough day.
Well, this 27 trying to get any spot he can. Garrett Shima dropping to the inside on George Uriarte. And we got a couple of other great drivers working in the midst behind them as well. Ben Pierce has been up front quite a bit this season, 7th in points. Definitely wants a better day than he's been having. But he's going to need to have a little bit more luck go his way than he's had throughout the rest of this season. A lot of single file racing here throughout this field, but towards the front we've got a little more action. 39 and 77 both get around Carlos Tavares, and the 77 gonna lead his first lap of this race. Ben.
Oh, sorry, I just got back from the bathroom. I just cut the latter half of your conversation.
Professionalism.
Yes, I know.
What are your comments on the way this race is so far?
It's just a lot of single file racing. Some try to venture out, but they quickly either get pulled back or just get passed. It's just all single file racing or 2-line racing. And not many people are running 2 lines, except for all the cars.
So the other thing to ask is, with the way that this race is going so far, do you think you want to be up towards the race leaders and have that track position, or do you think staying back is going to be better to possibly avoid any wrecks that come?
At Auto Club is a crapshoot. There could be a wreck in the front, and being in the back could be absolutely great. There could be a wreck in the middle of the pack, and everybody else in the mid to the latter half of that pack could be destroyed. It's a pick on where you want to be. It's gut instinct mixed with luck. That's how you run this track.
What about you, Bill?
It just doesn't really seem like the cars further on through the pack can really make it towards the front. It's really just the guys who have been in the top 10, qualified in the top 10, are still in that top 10. I'd rather be towards the front of the pack, and even if we get green flag pit stops or even pit stops under caution, I'd rather track position. It's just like a thing for the pass.
Well, you bring up an interesting thing to talk about, and that is green flag stopped. This race is slightly shorter than like the Daytona 500, where we run 40 laps at Daytona. But the thing is, that's still the reason that this race is shorter is because it's only in the fact that it's a 400-mile race instead of a 500-mile race. And so it kind of begs the question, will we have to pit during this race, or will we be able to run the entire thing under green? And if you do have to pit, when do you want to make that call to bring her down pit road and service the car, make any adjustments that you're going to need towards the end of this thing?
I'd wait on the leader to pit. When the leader pits, that's when you want to pit because you don't want to go in before the leader and you know they would have a faster car than you, and then you get stuck out there on older tires and the leader would just track you down. I'd say as soon as the leader comes in, there's going to be a whole train of cars.
If I might say my opinion in this conversation, I would be like Bill. I would go with the leaders. There will be green flag pit stops. This track eats up Goodyear tires, and as we all know, Goodyears are really bad at holding air, so you don't want to be out there and risk blowing a tire.
Well, the 7 drops to the inside on the 39. I don't think he's going to have the push on that race car that he needs to. Just because, as we've kind of seen all race long, you kind of need to have some buddies go with you. But that could also be another conversation is because you need to have friends with you in order to have something, in order to really have the pace to keep up with the rest of the field. Again, you still want to. I think from where I'm coming from, you definitely do want to wait for those race leaders to come in, pit with friends, and then definitely come back out onto the racetrack and make sure that you got plenty of people with you to help you with whatever you're trying to do. That 7 has looked a couple of times on the 39 of Ad, and not able to get the job done. The 15 has also looked at the 77, and Emily Winters still not able to pull this pass off. They're still pretty much all single file all the way back to this 12th car, who's had a couple of looks on the 25 and the 27, and he's kind of gone right to the back after a couple of aggressive moves. But if he could get some friends to go with him, I think this 12 definitely has the aggression to get the job done. We'll see how things shape up for the rest of the field as this race continues under green.
I definitely did not see this coming from the 12 car. Obviously, he's dead last in points. I thought he would try to play it conservative, not make too many big moves, and just finish the race and get some points. Can't get much worse in points, or he can't get any worse in points than he is right now. Just have a good day, but no, he's not. He's going pedal to the metal here, drifting, spinning out, maybe getting loose on that bottom lane, and he doesn't care about the draft, man. He's just going for it.
Well, I think for him, the idea for him is that he's currently last in points. He's got nowhere to go but up, and I think he's really got to try something. There's not much for him to lose, and so he can take those risks and try to make something happen. But also at the end of the day, he's got to keep this car pointed forward and on the racetrack. He's had several DNFs this season, and I think that he's definitely gonna need some good finishes, possibly run up towards the front. But sometimes the only way to get that stuff done is to be aggressive, like he's been all race long. I think that they're definitely telling him to race as much as you can, but also to not wreck the thing.
Yeah, I don't disagree with what they're doing. Obviously, early on you have fresher tires. They grip a little bit more, but throughout the run, those tires start to fade, and then you'll really start to get loose later on in the run. So if I was a crew chief, I'd say, hell yeah, go out and get as many spots as you can early on. And then if your tires start to fade, get in line. Don't be too aggressive. If someone makes a mistake, that's where you can make your moves.
Now we've been kind of keeping an eye on the battle for second here. Battle for third rather. He's passed several laps. The 15 of Emily Winters has looked several times to the inside on this 77 to no avail, and the only thing that has done is allowed the 39 and the 7 gap the rest of this lead group of cars. The 39 and the 7 kind of pulling away here.
We haven't seen this kind of speed out of Ad since about Pocono. He was in the top 3, top 5 most of that race. And I don't remember the last time we saw the speed out of Carlos Tavares. He just hasn't been up there very much. He's having a really solid day, and he really needs it for the points. If he could just, I know he wants that win, but if he could even just get second, that's great points. And this is a really good day for both these teams.
Carlos Tavares currently sitting in the 25th spot on points. He's amassed 987. He's got 1 pole, which that's definitely something good for him. But at the same time, he's not finished inside of the top 5, and he's only got 2 top 10s compared to some of these guys like Ad, who's got 3 top 5s, which also translate to 3 top 10s. Plus, Carlos Tavares has not led laps up until this point, and unlike in the Cup Series, right now, leading laps in this series does earn you those 5 bonus points, and every point matters when it comes to tallying things up and looking at the championship. And just like that, the 7's going to get to the inside of this 39. They'll be side by side coming across the start-finish. But the question is, will he have a push possibly from this 15 car that can help him stay down on the bottom, or will he get back in behind that 39 car? Looks like he's going to do just that.
Well, if I was his crew chief, I'd say, yeah, go ahead. If you can, make that pass, but don't use up your tires trying to get by the 39. If you can't get by, you can try to move him up out of his lane later in the race, and then make your move to pass, maybe even for the win. So I'm kind of not anxious, but excited to see what the 7 car can do. Like we brought up with the 12, he doesn't have much to lose. He's only 5 spots ahead of dead last in points. So if he could win this race, this will help him tremendously.
For sure. Now, one of the things that we haven't discussed yet is definitely some of these guys who are higher up in the point standings, like an Emily Winters, who's P2. She's got quite a bit she can lose. Currently 48 points back of Coaster Enthusiast, who has been kind of quiet today. So you almost wonder if some of these guys running up towards the front, how this is going to work points-wise, because with a guy like Coaster, who is the points leader, having a bit of an off day, like last week at Coca-Cola for the Coke 600, or this week here at Auto Club, it kind of starts getting on your mind whether or not one of these guys who runs up towards the front or possibly wins this race has a chance at catching him.
Well, you know that's got to be in the back of the 15's mind. Yeah, we all know she wants to go there and win the race, and if she does, then she might just catch him, maybe even pass him. But she knows that they have a big enough gap to that 14 and to that 54 where they won't catch him. So she knows that she doesn't want to play it too dangerous. She doesn't want to bring out a caution to help everyone, or that back group, catch up to this front group. But she knows she has a lot of room to that 54, a lot of spots in between him, and that's a lot of points from where that 54 is to where that 15 is. So if she could just stay where she is, maybe even get a couple spots better, she might just catch that 54 by the end of this race in points.
54 currently outside of the top 10. It's a rare look for him, mired all the way back in 15th position right now. We already talked about the 15 car currently sitting in 4th, but let's go back all the way to the back of this field where we find the 19, who's currently in dead last and a lap down. You'll almost wonder how he got there, whether it was an off strategy pit call, or getting passed by the race leader on track somehow. But this 19 car, running third place right now, he's only got, what, 26 points between him and the 15. He can't afford to be having bad days like these. And then you also talk about your Max Weisner's up in are up inside the top 10. Um, some of the guys inside of the lead group definitely trying to have points days. They've got to be worried about their championship hopes. But again, a lot of the guys inside of the top 10, except for maybe that 15 or that one car, are further down in the points. And so seeing them up front, they're definitely going to be wanting to try and keep this track position at all costs, because you know they are further back in the points, and a good finish could help them leapfrog the standings.
Absolutely. Well, you brought up Max Weissner, and he was our points leader for a couple races this season. And you got to know that he's trying to track down that 15 of Emily Winters. Her being only a couple spots ahead of him, they're in the same group. You got to know he's trying to get up there and get more points than her, just to try to close that gap ever so slightly. But you bring up Parker dead last. Just, well, how many, like, you think how many spots he would gain finishing 10th or wherever he is right now, compared to, you know, how many spots that 19 car would lose being in third in points. Like, it's just going to be crazy what the points are going to look like after this race.
Well, we've seen this 39 car dominate here from Auto Club. I'm sure that he's by far and away locked up the most laps led. He was definitely the car to beat from the very get-go, acquired the pole position, and lost it on the initial start of this race, but regained it. And now he's kind of gapped himself from this 7 car. But for sure, he's got to be looking big picture, possibly winning this thing. But oh, by the way, we're getting closer and closer to that point when we might start seeing guys peel off, come to pit road, top off on fuel, because we've run 40 laps here. I think the pit window might be around 50, but still, it's been a very, very long race for them, and we have yet to see car have something go wrong and get sideways. You gotta wonder if that's coming in the coming laps of this thing, or if we're gonna run green in the checkered flag.
Don't forget that point of no return too. We're about 5 laps away from the point of no return, and you're almost wondering if those guys at the front are kind of worried about gas, because we don't know how long they could make it till. You said around maybe lap 50. Well, that's as long as this race is. You just got to wonder how many guys in this front group have actually been saving. Has the 39 been saving, or has he just been pedaled to the metal? Has the 7 saved a little bit to make it to the end of this race? Will the 39 run out on the last lap? But if there's a caution, that just ends it. They won't have to worry about gas. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the closing 10 laps.
Another thing that's going to be interesting is the fact that last week, or a few weeks ago, we had a vote on whether or not you guys wanted us to bring the Roblox series back. That vote was successful, 17-6 in favor of bringing that series back, and development for that will be coming up very shortly. One of the things that we wanted to talk about is the format for how the season's going to go, and what we have decided is that we will be continuing season 3 that we had started all the way back, or that we were in the middle of all the way back in March, but because we've had so many people who are running that series quit or not join this particular Discord server, we're going to be splitting the field based on all of the new drivers and all of the drivers who were running at the time that the series went under. The drivers that are continuing that series will continue the point standings, will continue in the point standings that they had been when the series died, and then the new drivers will compete for their own championship with separate points, and then the champions out of both classes, if you will compete for the final championship come Homestead. Speaking of drivers looking for championships here, we've got a bit of a fight up towards the front. The 15 trying to get around 77, get some more points towards that championship, but it seems that in trying to make that move, that allowed the 27 to get inside, and Garrett Shima has made that pass for third, and that also has spread this field out even more so. It's about a 1.3 second gap between this 7 car and the 27, and that's definitely going to hurt some of these guys back here who wanted to have a shot at winning. Now the race win comes down to the 39 and 7. Ben.
Well, there's some interest in the top 5. The 25th and the 24th positions are in the top 5. They are currently driving currently in second and 72nd as a nice point mix-up. But this race has been coming down to the last 5, maybe 4 laps here, maybe actually 3. It's going to be a battle between the 39 and the 7. It's going to be who has the most gas, who can put the pedal down the farthest into the floor for the last 2 to 3 laps of this race. And there are multiple lines you can take to that finish line. And it's going to be a battle until the finish. The 7 is conserving, pouncing on the 39, hoping the 39 would make a mistake. Any of those 2 drivers can win. Back to you again.
Point of no return, by the way.
Yes, indeed. We're about to take 2 laps to go, and oh, by the way, maybe this 19 does have something going for him. I think he just unlapped himself from race leaders, the 39 and that 7 car. So 19 making strides in the right direction. We'll see what he can do. I just don't know that he's got the speed to catch the 5 car. They're split by about 4 seconds. But as they come to take the white flag, we got 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Not sponsored.
Yeah, totally sponsored. Hashtag JK. If I might say, you might want to take a look onto the battle of first and for third, because both of those are going to be a dragon.
Well, to me, they're looking like they're going to be single file, but the best bet for this 7 car is to try and get to the inside of the 39 or look to the outside. Somehow manage to get side by side. Maybe have a shot at it, but it doesn't look like he's going to quite get there. Off turn number 4, coming to the start finish, Ad will win at Auto Club.
That is the description of domination.
That was very good. Who got the place for third? That was actually...
Battle for third went to Garrett Shima, who still has yet to lead a lap in this series.
But still a very great run, really good
It's
run.
close for third, though. Fairly close.
But a great run for both of them. From the 24th and the 25th spot. But drivers, what a very boring race.
What a huge points day for that 12 team, though. Gained
Yeah,
a
they
little bit of
finished
morale.
P7.
Yeah, that's a morale gainer right there. Although they're dead last in points on the build off, and I believe that 19 beat the 5 to the line. I think the 19 back.
Yeah, the 19 actually got there. So definitely showing some speed late in the race was the 19.
It's because he pit, though.
Can I say one more thing before we start off? What happened to the 24?
I don't know, man. He sank like a rock. He finished 28th. He had good takeoff speed, but I guess, like I said, he just didn't have any long run speed, and he had to be one of the worst cars on a run, man. Him and the 5, they were just not competitive whatsoever. I don't know if they just weren't ready for this race, or whether it was just a short run car because that's what they were expecting. Maybe they were expecting a bunch of wrecks, but whatever it was, that was a terrible race for them. Coming off of a race win, not what they wanted to go.
Well, here's your final finishing order. As already mentioned, Ad wins the race. Carlos Tavares comes home second. Garrett Shima finishing third. Emily Winters fourth. Sam Blaney fifth. Flashy McClashy sixth. Parker seventh. Brandon Del Pino in eighth. Robot Spider ninth. Brian Anders 10th. Winterwolf 11th. Max Weisner 12th. Ben Pierce 13th. James Youngerman in 14th. Coaster Enthusiast comes home 15th. Ryan Boyer in 16th. Matt Banswicki 17th. Cole McElmoyle 18th. Chris Ganaban in 19th. Matt Wynn 20th. Creeper of Hope 21st. Ben Navarro 22nd. Adrian Mobley 23rd. DNP 10 24th. Greninja Talonflame 25th. Matt Nile 26th. Muse Better 27th. George Uriarte 28th. Sharon Kyle just beating out Payson Avery for 29th, and then running out your field is Payson Avery. Good points today for some of these guys who definitely need them, but for sure, there's also some guys like Coaster Enthusiast who may surrender the points lead because of not performing as well in today's race. Thank you guys for tuning in. The next race on the schedule is going to be the Camping World 400 from Chicagoland Speedway, July 31st, which is this Wednesday. That race will start at 7 p.m. Eastern as per usual. But until then, I've been DNP. Alongside me has been Coaster Enthusiast, has been Builder, and Ben Pie 1024. I like to thank you for tuning into this stream. Until Wednesday, take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.
See ya. Thank you for